Hi guys, this is Pestilli and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this video I'm covering the Tarkov TV podcast number 4. Now this one was completely in Russian and I don't speak Russian, but Sneaky Russian 007 does and translated on the fly on his Twitch channel. And so thanks to him I watched the VOD and was able to take all the notes required to make this video for you, so you guys get the short and nasty for the summary of pretty much everything that happened. So guys, before I crack into it, go down the link below, give him a follow on Twitch, say thank you, shower him with love, because he's an absolute legend. He's done this for every one of these Russian podcasts, and it's been a massive help for us. So guys, without further ado, let's crack straight into it. So it started off with a quick summary. Before patch 0.12, there's going to be a few hotfixes to come. After that, they started talking about tasks. Now, next wipe will be no longer having hard gates, and the meaning of that is, say, for example, health level 7 being a stopping point so you can't actually progress past that quest. These kind of quests are going to get removed for patch 0.12. So you're going to be able to continue on through your quest lines and not get stuck on a specific quest like health level 7, health level 10, getting sniper to a level, like, I don't know, 4 million, whatever it is. Those ones are all going to get moved away from the main quest lines, making it so you can level up using quests and not get stuck on these really annoying tasks. They did bring up the point about having bonus rewards for tasks. So an example for that would be having to kill, say, 20 scavs. But if you were to kill the 20 scavs with an AKM, you get a bonus reward. And you could just complete it normally if you want to, just to move on with the storyline. Or you can actually go that extra step and get whatever the bonus reward is. Now, Nikita did refer again to saying that the quests that are currently in the game are not part of the main storyline, and they're going to complete a full storyline that's going to have a lot more in-depth meaning, as well as teaching you guys about the lore, or teaching us about the lore, etc. Now, moving on to maps, there are still 4 more maps to be added after, well, currently to the game, and to my understanding, that's when the game will be released. The image of all the current maps is actually not going to be the same anymore. They're actually going to change that to have the 4 maps that are going to be coming. And some of those maps will actually be either, that are in that list that are in the game at the moment, will either get put into other maps or be later on added into the game through DLCs. He did explain that Woods will have an expansion to it, and there's going to be a small village attached to that. Now, there's already a lot of information for the military base that was in the previous one. So to add to the previous Tarkov TV, the boss on the map is going to have various positions in the map that he'll spawn and then take up. And then you'll have to assault these positions and to kill the scav boss. Now, I don't know this for sure, but I would imagine that it's going to be somewhere to do with the fixed firearms or guns within the map. So wherever the 50 cals are, the mortars or the SPG. I feel like that's going to be the locations, but that's just me putting my 2 cents in. Now, with the military base, there are big open areas as well as an underground section. There's going to be 3-story buildings, and it's going to have all these new loot that is either going to be specific just for that map or added with the map, as well as all the extracts for this map will be exactly like labs, and they'll have a dynamic system. So it won't be as simple as just move to an area and extract. It's going to be there's going to be things that you're going to have to either do or pay for to get out of the map. The total size of the map is going to be about 2/3 of the size of Woods. Now, moving on to guns, I'm going to pretty much list a heap here, but there is a fair bit to talk about. Nikita wants to add every single variant of the AK eventually, so that's going to be pretty cool. There will be a video playing above right now for the Ash 12, which is the 50 cal anti-material rifle. And Nikita said this is going to be very terrifying for factory. They want to add the Groza to the game, as well as the AUG, which is going to have a similar amount of mods to the FAL. So I think they're going to put a lot of effort into the AUG compared to some of the other rifles that only had a few mods. They seem to put in that it's going to have a lot more mods. The MDR is going to become available with different calibers, so it's not just going to be the 5.56 variant. I'm pretty sure it comes as a 7.62 as well. The PPSH is going to be coming at some point, and this requires the same ammunition as the TT. The 5.7 will most likely be in patch 0.12, as well as the P90. The SR2, Velmod 4, the Honey Badger are all guns that are going to be coming to the game eventually, but the Kar 98 is not. I explained that it doesn't really fit with how the game is going to progress, and apparently it's just not going to fit in the lore. So that being said, as long as it fits in the setting of the game, they're going to put it in. So I'll leave it at that. They're currently putting a lot of their efforts into these stationary weapons though. Now to add to the hideout, there's going to be different things you can do in your hideout, being cooking, ammo making, gun making, and you'll be able to upgrade your hideout from like a barren concrete bunker into something more complete and complex. It will also have a firing range. Now with Unity 2018, they're still, like, that's the main priority for patch 0.12, and they've pretty much said that the technical back end of the game will change drastically, but you won't actually notice much graphical change, but the optimization is where it's all going to be at. So there'll be new anti-aliasing in patch 0.12, but from what Nikita said, with the recent tests that they've been doing, it's 2 times more optimized than previous, which will mean it's going to have a lot less demand on PC requirements. Hopefully this will also fix with the stutters and that, but a lot of people have upgraded their computers just to play Tarkov, and hopefully this will make it so it runs a lot better on all computers, not just the high-end ones. The topic of Reshade came up, and they are actually going to start banning a lot more people for using certain functions within Reshade. I personally have never used it, so I don't really know what these are, but if they detect that people are using certain functions within Reshade, they will be banning people. And Nikita also stated that it's possible in the future they're going to actually ban people using Reshade completely. Personally, I've never used it. I look at people playing it and I understand why they use it. It does make it so you can see the game a lot clearer. It does add a lot more color to the game. But personally, if you want to add a little bit more color, you can use it through the NVIDIA control panel. There's digital vibrance. You can turn that one up and stuff like that. But if there's any risk of getting banned in the future, I think just get used to not using it now. That's my personal opinion. But you guys can do what you want. It's your game. Now moving on to other changes. So they're going to be working on the grass rendering. Apparently that's one of the reasons for a lot of the freezes in the open maps. The level of detail, referring to being able to see through things at certain distances. So for example, grass doesn't really render from a long distance, and so when someone's laying down the grass at distance, you can actually see them quite easily. They're going to work on ways to help make this better, because you want to be able to camouflage yourself somehow. In patch 0.12, they are going to start adding all the customization of characters. So, for example, new faces, clothing. Bear and USEC are going to have their own separate types of clothing that are unique to each of them. Now, a change that has already happened is the logout button on the game has actually been removed. This was due to the fact that people were able to exploit this in some way and to breach the security measures, and they've identified that and they've removed that button from the lobby, which is something that I found quite annoying when I was switching between, say, my hardcore account and that. But yeah, so if you notice that it's gone, that's the reason behind that. Also, one of the changes they're going to be adding is the ability to party in the menu, not just in the lobby. So you'll be able to sit there in your inventory screen and be adjusting your loadout whilst already in a party. Now, I'm trying to keep this as short and sweet as possible, so I'll try and belt feed the rest of these points, but I've got all these listed down as other points. So, scav locations, they brought up the point that the scavs do not go roaming through the resort very much, as well as the second floor of Interchange. And one of the actual podcast members brought that up, saying it'd actually be better if scavs would actually roam more through these locations, particularly, like, say, the resort, to stop people doing pretty much getting free loot if they're the first ones there, particularly if they're under-geared. Sound positioning with the new Unity engine, it's going to have a new sound positioning system implemented, but it isn't perfect, and they're still working on it to make it as good as possible. VoIP will be coming with patch 0.12. The point of reorganizing the traders, this was brought up. However, Nikita replied saying the modding system will be added in patch 0.12, which if you haven't seen the video from the previous podcast, it's actually really sick. I'm super excited for it, and that's going to help prevent a lot of confusion for newer players. Skills, there was a suggestion that post-raid reports also state how many skill points or levels you went up in particular skills, so you can actually take note on how you are progressing with some of your skill points, and this way just making it a lot easier to tell what you did in the raid and how it worked in respect to leveling up your skills. Nikita took note of this and said it sounded like a pretty good idea, as well as he also made point that there will probably be ways to level up some of your skills in the hideout, so we don't know the specifics behind that. EOD will definitely be removed before the release of the game, so it will be a limited edition. It's one of the questions I always bring up as a bit of a joke. The compass is going to be added to the wrist. Don't know if this is going to be for patch 0.12. Nikita made a lot of jokes about how people are trying to get all these things added into the game as quickly as possible, but their focus is really getting it across the new Unity engine, so the optimization is as good as possible. The clan system was brought up, asking about when it was, And Nikita said it's not a priority, and it'll probably be released after the game has been finished. It'll be like a post-release thing, but it's going to be an extension to the hideout. Well, that's how he sees it. Now, when it comes to banning of people, with the traders and the flea market, the bots that are going rampant there, they've already banned 40 to 50 of them, and there are found ways to be able to track them down faster, as well as they ban a large amount of people each day, and they're really working hard to reduce the cheating population within Tarkov, which is great news. Dynamic pricing is going to return next week. Now, this one scares me. If you guys know about the whole dynamic flea market, how I manipulated the market and it was just ridiculous what we did, I'm hoping that this is going to be fixed and it's going to make the game not so... In my opinion, this is going to be bad. All right, I'll leave it at that. We'll see how it goes, but I can't see any way that prices are not only going to go up. The way I see it, all prices will just keep inflating and there'll be nothing to stop it. So we'll have to see how it goes. Now, the last point I'll bring up is the recoil. There was some people complaining about the recoil system. Nikita is happy with how the recoil system is. Stock standard guns aren't very accurate, and the more modded out guns are a lot more accurate. And Nikita likes how it is, even though there is an automatic recoil control system that I've spoken about in the past. Nikita likes the system in the game, and he wants to keep it that way, which is fair. If he likes the way his game is, he should be able to keep it that way. So guys, I've tried to belt feed this out as much as possible. As you have seen, all the pictures and videos have been playing above. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. I had to listen to the whole translation of the podcast in 2x speed to get it all done. So I took all my notes, and I was away for the last few days, so I haven't been able to do this earlier. So once again, guys, if you're not following Sneaky Russian 007, go give him a follow on his Twitch channel. Really big thanks to him for that. Finally, guys, though, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. I do stream on Twitch every single day of the week, so get down the link below. Give me a follow there. If you've got any Tarkov questions, feel free to hit me up in my live stream or down in the comments below. Smack that subscribe button if you haven't already. And lastly, I'll see you next time.